Okay. I tried to do a video already, so that's why. There's this. I messed up the battery. No battery in it, so I'm an idiot. But I was just drawing and telling a story of my accident, and I guess this is mostly for me. It's like a diary, but maybe you can find things that help you understand things more. So, about a year ago, maybe a little bit more now. Yeah, a year and some change. I got in this accident. It was a bad accident. It 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 killed me, and doctors brought me back to life. I was right in front of a hospital, so they even told me if I wasn't in front of the hospital, I'd probably be dead. And I was on a bike, just riding my little bike, and it was an electric bike, and there's a lady, it's an old lady, who ran a red light, and she just she ran the red light, and I was on my bike, and it, boom, hit me. And I was in Florida, so I didn't need to wear a helmet, which is stupid. I'm dumb for not wearing one. Now I know, always wear a fucking helmet. My head hit the hood, hit the pavement, and I was gone. My first memory was a memory of the doctor telling me that I was gonna go to surgery, that they're gonna put titanium in my head, and I remember feeling my jaw, and my jaw was like slack. I couldn't even talk because it was like hanging off, and then darkness, nothing else, and so it was just darkness. Next memory was I remember seeing these people just standing there staring at me, and I couldn't remember who they were. I knew that I knew them, but I just didn't know who they were, you know. And those people were my girlfriend's family. It was her brother, her mom, and her dad. But I didn't know that she was my girlfriend, and I didn't know that that was her family. But I knew I loved her, but I just didn't know. I didn't know who they were, and this uneasy feeling that I had never went away, no matter how long I was with her and her family. And I remember going to the house after I got sent home from coma, and seeing this house and thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, where the hell am I? And one thing led to another, and we decided to move back to North Carolina. I got a nice little apartment. We made that apartment our home, and I remember, getting a job at this place called Mamma Mia. It was a hell of a job. Honestly, hell on earth, if I'm completely honest. The owner expected me to work crazy hours, and I did. I would work like 50 to 75 hour work weeks nonstop as a server. And sometimes I'd even go in when it was my day off. And that's when I was like 70 hours. I'd go on my days off and like take care of some stuff, you know. And well, during this time, I still had that uneasy feeling in my head where I didn't know who. I knew that I was me, but I didn't know that I was me. Like I always thought I was like there's stuff missing. There's something missing. And I couldn't put my finger on it. It's almost like how do you know that you forgot something if you forgot it? You know? And like that's what was happening to me. Like I knew there was something up, but I didn't know. I had no idea what happened. And well, my emotions were rampant. My anxiety was crazy. My anger, I'd get angry so fast. It was just bad, you know. And I'm pretty sure my girlfriend knew. She could sense it, that there was something off. Well, after doing like crazy hours, I would do what everybody did, and I'd go to the bar after work. I drank a beer or two, you know, talk to my coworkers. They all also worked crazy hours like that. So then, you know, we became like close friends. We started talking more. Started drinking every time we got out of work, and well, my girlfriend did not like that, and you know, it's because I had to drive home. And sometimes I'd drive home and I was a little too drunk, you know. I would never do that ever again. And you know, after the accident, she was there for like hours on end, like wondering where I was, what was happening to me, like you know, in panic because of the accident. Because when the accident happened, it was like, it was the same. It was hours of not knowing where I was, and then finally when she got a call back, it was he's in the hospital and with his fucking brain half out of his skull, you know, his bones are broken, and you know, that when that happens to someone that you love, like I can't imagine how horrible that felt for her. And so I'd be drinking, and then she'd say to not do it, but I didn't care, you know. I just didn't think anymore. I let myself just do whatever I wanted to do. And I remember someone gave me a cart, and I have a history of smoking, and I'm really bad at controlling it. There's some people that can, but I clearly couldn't. And so stuff started to pile up, you know, working crazy hours, you know, smoking. She was mad at me because of all the stuff that I was doing, which is completely valid. She was completely right about that stuff. And you know, when you're smoking and drinking, it changes your personality. It changes who you are. And I didn't feel it, but I was changing. I was changing the way I acted, the things that I did, and the way I acted towards her. Like, there's like a filter in my head where, like, things just didn't matter for some reason. And on top of that, like, you know, not knowing if the old me died, and it's just a new person in my head. I didn't know if it was actually me, if it was actually if it was actually me. And well, one thing led to another. One night, I got super drunk, and one of the coworkers told me to stay at her place, and you know, she liked me, and then I just went to her place, and you know, things started happening, and I didn't stop him. I let stuff happen, and the only saving grace was like things couldn't happen because I was too drunk, and but I still let it happen, and I couldn't hide that from her, and I told her, I'm like, hey, look, this happened, literally the day after, because what happened was she was calling me nonstop, texting me nonstop, but I was asleep and I was drunk, and my phone I didn't hear it, and she drove all the way to my last location to make sure that I wasn't dead, you know, and I hurt her. And and then the day after, I went to the apartment, and I told her everything that happened, and I remember she was begging me, crying. It was like someone was physically hurting her. It was like, oh my God, I still remember those. I still see it in my head, like replaying a movie. I don't think I'll ever forget that. I know. I hurt the one person that loved me, and oh my God, fuck me, man. Well, one thing led to another, and then I moved out. You know, obviously, after that, like, how could I? Like, I wasn't even letting myself even contemplate that thought of like staying there. You know, like deep down inside, I knew that I did the worst thing I could possibly do. And fuck. I moved out, and then I went to go move in with my dad. And after moving in with him, let me make sure this is on. Stupid charger. Well, still recording. One thing led to another, and I want to go live with my dad, and I'm still here now. And you know, it felt like it wasn't real. Like it like all that happened to someone that wasn't me. It felt like it was like things were gonna go back. Like, 'cause I was like, I think I was in denial that everything happened, and that I lost the love of my life, and I just kept being like that, you know. I got a new job. I left Mamiya, and I started going to the gym a lot, And I remember one day I got a call from my little sister. It was about it was not a call. She texted me actually, um, and she texted me saying, "Hey, can you come to the house like as fast as possible?" And I was like, well, "Why? What happened? Is everything okay?" And she told me that my little brother died, and I stopped everything I was doing and I ran to the car and I drove. I was going much faster than I should have, and I got there, and apparently he was driving his new car. It was a nice new car. It was a Nissan, and he he overcorrected and went off the road and hit a tree, and he died instantly. And that was it. He just died. And I remember taking care of him. I remember changing his diapers. I remember going on walks with him. But he was gone, and we had a funeral. There's a lot of people that went. He'd be happy with the turnout, like, and well, after that, after everything was said and done, I fell into this great depression, and I couldn't get out of it. I locked myself in my room, and I just didn't leave. I didn't leave for 2 months straight, and I turned to the one thing that made me forget, and I started smoking. And there wasn't a single day that I was sober, and I would just sit in my house. And every time I started to get sober again, I would smoke some more because I didn't want to deal with the feelings. And it was so bad that my dad would come to my room and just drop food off for me because I just wouldn't leave the room. He was scared that I was going to starve. And I remember after like month 2, it was like my mind was begging me to stop. It was like because when you smoke, like, it puts pause on everything, but everything started piling up, and sooner or later I was gonna have to hit play, and everything was gonna hit me at once, and I was afraid of that. But my mind was like, it was begging me, like, stop. And so then 1 week before I quit, I told myself, I'm gonna smoke every single day, every single hour, to the point where I can't. I hate smoking, and almost like exposure therapy. And I did it, and finally, the cart was done. I couldn't get any more, and I started to think again, but I lost myself during the whole endeavor. I didn't know who I lost. I lost my mind. I was in a deep anxiety, depression-ridden hole that I couldn't come out of. I couldn't come out of it. And then
I was like, I think I just want to kill myself, and I was going to, I was going to end it. Um, but then I remember my dad. He he told me, he's like, Alex, don't give up. I know a lot happened. I know a lot has happened, and just keep fighting, man. And those words, like, for some reason they hit, and I couldn't. It was like almost like thunder when he said it, and I decided not to kill myself. Um, and I decided that I wanted to be a better human, someone that my ex would be proud of being with, at least, even though she had moved on. I don't know, because how could she? And I don't blame her, because she loved me so much, and I hurt her. I hurt her more than I can bear sometimes. She even got these little rocks. She would get these rocks and give them to me so I can make a nice little path for my desk, and she was my everything. She was the love of my life. And, I hurt her. But so I decided from that day on that I was going to change, and I did. I went to the gym. I made a routine. I went nonstop. I would go to the gym. I'd go to work. I wouldn't smoke. I wouldn't drink, and that just became part of my life. And with enough time, I found myself. I found out who I really am, and now I can say that, like, the feelings that I feel are mine, are my feelings, and I know that I love her, and I don't think I'll ever stop loving her. I don't think. I think I'm gonna love her for infinity. Not gonna lie. But she moved on. And I can't blame her. I'm the one who did everything, I hurt her, and so I'm moving on. I'm moving. I'm trying. It was just like when I finally got out of that depression. Some people think that it's like wow, like it's like grass is green on the other side, but that's not true. It's like you get out of it. At least for me personally, I got out of that situation in my mind, and it was almost like a war happened, and everything was rubble, and now I had to look at it. I had to look at all that rubble. That's why I didn't want to stop smoking. I didn't want to stop anything, because I didn't want to deal with the fact of the things that I did, and And then finally I had to suck it up and do it and live with my decisions, the things that I did, and the people that I hurt, and the people that I've lost. And little by little, it's like I grabbed a piece of rubble and I'd stack it on top of each other, little by little, and then I made my little home. I made my house, my home. But recently I just think back of all the things that happened, and specifically her. I think a lot about her and about hurting her and how much I love her. And I don't think, the thing is, I don't think I'm ever going to stop. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna stop loving her. Like, ever. Like, I've tried to move on. And I know with time I will. It's just, even when I do, I know that she's gonna be the one in my heart. She's the only one that can be in my heart. She's the only one. And no one else can take that place. Almost like the place my little brother has. No one will replace him. He'll forever be within my heart. Same thing with her. I like who I've become. I like the man that I am. But damn. Why did all this have to happen for me to get to this point? Fuck, man. Damn. This image has been in my head of like how it felt to like finally get out of it, get out of that depression, get out of my mind, and like to finally know that I'm me. It's just when I came to, I just saw everything, the things, the decisions, the life. And it almost felt like it was too much to bear, but here I am. I'm still here. I just realized one thing, is that I'm never gonna stop loving that girl. That woman. She was my wife, you know. She's the love of my life. And, you know, a lot of people say that they love something, but like sometimes it's materialistic in nature, and but this, what I had, I can tell you that was real love. Something that will go on forever. It'll never stop. I won't let it. And I know some people might be like, that's not healthy, let it go. I'm never letting it go. I don't care how long. I don't care how many years. How many things happen in my life. I will always love her like the first day that I saw her. I'll love her. I'm never gonna stop. The thing is, I don't want to. I know that feeling is part of me. It's something that made me me, was the love that I had for her. And like, I wish I could be the person that I am now to her. Because now I like understand myself. I understand people. I understand the world so much more. Like I can finally be the man that she deserved. But it's too late. And it's done. To be fair, if one day she decides to be like, hey, I can guarantee you I will stop everything just to be with her. Just an hour. just a minute. A second. But yeah, I do like who I am now. I like the person I became. You know, everything that you do makes you into you. Every small decision, every step you take, it's heart-wrenchingly, uniquely you. And that's who I am now. I am me. Because after the coma, I didn't know who I was. I didn't even know. I lost. You know, one thing too is that I didn't know how certain feelings felt. Like I didn't remember how like hope felt. Like I didn't remember how like I honestly I didn't even remember how love felt like until now. Because it all came back like a fucking storm, like a damn tsunami. As soon as I stopped like smoking, it all came back like a fucking freight train. It was insane. Like even the small things, it was. I think I'm done.